Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is a translation of a Ramzan dars given by Imam Sahib. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Imam Sahib said that with reference to the fasting in the month of Ramadan, we have been mentioning the noble character of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. The Holy Prophet ﷺ has done a great favor upon the whole of mankind and upon Muslims in particular when he gave detailed guidance in different matters. With reference to fasting, we have mentioned some aspects in previous darses. Today we shall hear and we shall benefit from some more traditions of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. The first tradition, which is taken from the book of traditions called Tirmizi. In this tradition, according to Hazrat Anir Ribabi Salmiha Raziyallahu Anhu, he states that with reference to his uncle Salman bin Amir, and he then connects it to the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Remember that there are two parts to a tradition. One is called the body of the tradition, which means the precise words uttered by our beloved Lord and Master, the Holy Prophet ﷺ, and the other is the sequence of attestation as to which person heard it from whom, and then he heard it from whom, and then the final link in that chain is the Holy Prophet ﷺ, which is it must be a continuous chain for it to be an authentic tradition. So he eventually took this, in this particular tradition, it's mentioned that he took this tradition eventually to the Holy Prophet ﷺ. So in this tradition, the Holy Prophet ﷺ said that if any of you opens his fast, then he should open it by eating a date. This is a general instruction, and in another tradition there is a more detailed explanation that one should either eat a date or one should drink water, and both these are mentioned. The fact of the matter is that the religion of Islam is a religion of simplicity, and it wants to save people from formalities. So such a thing should be eaten which is available to a rich person and a poor person, and which is available everywhere. So a date is something which is found not only in Arabia but also in other countries of the world, and the fact is that there is no country in the world and no area of the world where dates are not found, are not available. So this is something which is abundantly available, and it's also extremely nutritious, and it can also be stored for a long time. So there are many advantages, many benefits. So the Holy Prophet ﷺ taught us this method of simplicity, that when it is time to open a fast, you should open it with a date, and then he says فَإِنَّهُ بَرَكَةٌ, because in the date there is many blessings. These are the words of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, and this is a glad tiding from him. So this fruit should be eaten obviously within limits, because it may not be beneficial to people who suffer from diabetes if they eat too much of it. And then the Holy Prophet ﷺ said that if dates are not available, because it may be an occasion where it is not available, then it is something which is available very easily everywhere, which is water, should be used to open one's fast, and simple water is mentioned. and this is especially emphasized in the tradition. And the quality of the water that is mentioned here is water is extremely pure, which should be used, and it leads to purity as well. So the Holy Prophet ﷺ mentioned the date and water here. This indicates towards the fact that when it is time to open a fast, we should remember to keep everything simple. There is no need to do too much ceremony and formality and create and cook lots of different foods, etc. And sometimes when people have iftar parties, sometimes they are big parties with lots of people, and sometimes at home as well. In every such occasion, one should keep simplicity in mind, and we should not cook so much food that it is wasted, because waste is also against the teachings of Islam. So the Holy Prophet ﷺ kept all of these things in view when he gave these instructions. And about the dates, it should also be remembered that the Holy Prophet ﷺ used to use them in odd numbers. So that means he used to eat 1, 3, 5, etc. So this is also a practice of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. This is also blessed for us to practice in the same manner. And sometimes when we have iftar parties, we call friends. Of course, it's a huge blessing to invite people for iftar and to open somebody's fast. But in such things, if a lot of food is cooked and then people talk about lots of things such as politics and other laughter and jokes, etc., and they forget about the clear instruction in hadith, in the tradition, that the time just before the opening of the fast is a time of prayer. So whether one is on one's own or one is with other people, at that time those precious moments should not be wasted in formalities and ceremony. One should take that time and pray, especially in those moments. Whether you are alone or in company, you should keep this in mind. Then the Holy Prophet ﷺ continues and says that when you give a poor or meek person charity, then this is a virtue. It is a very good thing, and Allah will give you the reward for it. And then Imam Sahib says that charity is a very important part of goodness. Is a very important is associated especially with Ramadan, and its reward in Ramadan is mentioned in particular. If one does anything good in normal days, one gets a certain amount of reward for it. But if the same deed is done in Ramadan, it has many times more reward. So when one gives charity, you should remember poor people. You should remember your relatives as well. So if this charity is given to a poor person, then it is called sadaqah, which is a door among the doors of heaven. So it is a way of earning the pleasure of Allah. And then the Holy Prophet ﷺ continues to say that if you help someone who is your relative, then this will make your reward increase 2 times. So remembering one's relatives, especially one's poor relatives, whether in this country or in another country, this is a great virtue. So the Holy Prophet ﷺ says that it is good to give charity to any poor person, but if you do this for your poor and needy relatives, then this will double the reward, because it will be giving charity and it will be maintaining a relationship with relatives. Muaz bin Zahra relates in another tradition that he heard this from someone, that the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, his manner was that when he opened the fast, when he completed the fast, then he would pray, and the words of the prayer have been recorded. So we just heard that it is the time of special acceptance of prayer. So the Holy Prophet ﷺ acted in accordance to this. He prayed himself, and he also taught his ummah that they should also not forget prayer at that time, and we should remember the words of this prayer. These are mentioned in two traditions. In one it says that the Holy Prophet ﷺ said that pray in this manner, and the Arabic words are Allahumma lakasumtu, O my Allah, I fast for your pleasure, for your sake, wala rizqika aftartu, and with your provision I open my fast. So one part of gratitude is that, O Allah, you have granted me the ability to keep away from food and drink for the sake of your pleasure. So it doesn't say that I fasted, it says that I fasted for you, for your pleasure. I fasted, and wala rizqika aftartu, and I am opening my fast with the provisions that you have granted me. So at every step, at the opening of the fast, and at the eating of the food, at every point gratitude is offered to Allah. So as far as keeping the fast is concerned, there is no a prayer of keeping fast. It is just mentioned that one should one should make the intention, and intention should also be made in the month of Ramadan. But there is no specific prayer for this. However, opening the fast does have a prayer, and is more than one, and Imam Sahib says that he'll mention it in some other darses. This prayer which Imam Sahib has mentioned, he said that this is only a brief prayer, but in other traditions there is a more detailed version is also available. So one should remember this, and one should always pray this prayer. And in this, the Holy Prophet ﷺ said that, O believers, while praying you should pray in these words: Allahumma lakasumtu, O my Allah, I kept a fast the whole day long for your pleasure, wa bika amantu, and I believe in you with full sincerity of heart, wa alayka tawakkaltu, and I put my full trust in you. So mentioning all these things reminds one of the effort that we tried to keep our faith upright, and we had laid our trust in you. So we pray that I fasted for your sake, and I trusted you completely. And in the end it says, wala rizqika aftartu, that I am opening my fast with the provisions that you provided me. So in the end, Imam Sahib says that I wish to repeat the words of the tradition, and one should remember this, because one needs to repeat it every time one fasts. So the words are Allahumma inni lakasumtu wa bika amantu wa alayka tawakkaltu wa ala rizqika aftartu. May Allah enable us to say this prayer. Ameen summa ameen.